Hello and welcome to my channel, I Win to Lose Gaming. If you're here for a Robin guide, well, you're in the right place and that's probably why you clicked on this video. Let's go through everything you need to know about our favorite songbird, Robin. It's not ostrich to say that Robin is an excellent harmony character. And don't worry, the foul puns are getting too egregious now and will end soon enough.
Stop it. Get some help.
This video was filmed on the Creator Experience server, name no longer pending, and things are subject to change, although unlikely. As we fly through her traces, some tips and tricks for her, stats and relics, light cones, team building, Eidolons and pull priority, and finally my opinion on Robin. Let's start as we always do with her basic attack. You should pretty much only use this when you need to generate a skill point. Up next we have her skill. Her skill provides a team-wide 50% bonus damage buff at trace level 10. It lasts for 3 turns, ticking down at the beginning of Robin's turn. Since it's tied to Robin's turns, it's very easy to maintain 100% uptime on her skill. The number of turns it's active for is indicated by these 3 little glowing ball icons down below. And with the major trace that generates 5 additional energy, her skill generates a total of 35 energy. Basically, you should definitely use her skill if there's 0 glowing balls next to her portrait, because you don't need to use it while there's still 1 since it ticks down at the beginning of her turn. In practice, I actually find myself often using her skill to generate more energy to get her ultimate sooner, even if the buff has multiple turns remaining. Next we have her talent, which is just an unconditional team-wide permanent crit damage buff, providing 20% crit damage to the entire team. And honestly, more importantly, her talent provides 2 energy each time that an ally attacks an enemy. Ultimates hitting an enemy and follow-up attacks will also trigger this energy regen passive. It will also always generate 2 energy regardless of how many enemies are hit. Just for reference, you can see up to 30 or so activations of this 2 energy gain with a follow-up attack focused team within a single use of her ultimate. However, for some other teams, you could see as little as just like 10 activations or so. This makes this passive very variable and ally dependent. And Robin has a built-in 25% advance forward at the start of the battle to help her outspeed her team and buff them up with her skill. Her ultimate costs a whopping 160 energy and is what allows her to shine as she starts to sing. Robin enters Concerto state, which removes herself from the turn order. Concerto is added to the turn order in her stead with 90 speed or 111.11 action value. Very importantly, it advanced forwards all of her teammates, providing them up to an entire free turn. However, it does not advance forward summons like Topaz's Numby and Jingyuan's Lightning Lord. But wait, that's not all. Her ultimate provides a team-wide attack buff as well, 22.8% of her attack plus 200. Generally, this buff provides around 1000 to 1400 flat attack and is one of the largest attack buffs in the entire game. Again, this attack buff applies to the entire team, which includes Robin herself, and is tied to Concerto state, so fast teammates do not drain the turns it's active for. But wait, that's still not all. Because while in Concerto state, anytime an ally hits an enemy, Robin will deal 1 instance of damage to a single enemy, scaling 120% of her attack at trace level 10. But wait, that's still not at all. Because this free attack from her Concerto has a fixed 100% crit rate and fixed 150% crit damage, making it deal non-negligible damage. Also keep in mind that this Concerto damage doesn't count as follow-up attack damage, and it deals no toughness damage. Now, what attacks activate this Concerto coordinated attack? Well, pretty much anytime an ally hits an enemy, as well as follow-up attacks and ultimates that hit enemies as well. I've personally done up to 25 attacks during a single ultimate window with the Rat team, which is Ratio, Robin, Aventurine, and Topaz. So that's 25 entire procs of her Concerto damage, which is actually a very hefty chunk of damage when added up. But wait, that's still not at all as that. Because while she's in Concerto state, she is fully immune to crowd control as well. Nothing besides death itself can stop Robin from singing. And we have her technique, which creates a dimension that generates 5 energy at the start of each wave for Robin. For her trace priority, level up her ultimate, then skill, then talent, and then her basic attack. So what buffs does she provide at Eidolon 0? 50% bonus damage via her skill, 20% crit damage via her talent, and while in Concerto state, she provides 1000 to 1400 flat attack, 100% full team advance forward, and 25% follow-up attack crit damage. And also keep in mind that all of these buffs are team-wide. There are a few tips to keep in mind for her kit. You should generally use her ultimate right after your crucial teammates have already moved to gain the most value out of your advance forward. However, if you're sitting on her ultimate for too long, it's also not really worth waiting for her teammates to eventually move. Generally speaking, this will lead to each of your other teammates going twice right after Robin casts her ultimate, while Concerto state is active. However, you can extend her ultimate in Memory of Chaos, as when you clear a wave, the turn orders are reset. This obviously will reset the turn of her Concerto. So you'll start the next wave with her 90 action value Concerto state, and the rest of your team moving at whatever speeds they're at. I also personally find myself frequently using her skill to generate additional energy, as having her ultimate an entire turn sooner is usually more valuable than an additional skill point. While not necessary, knowing how much energy she'll generate via her skill will help you decide whether or not to use her skill instead of her basic attack. Here is a quick chart that I made to just get a general idea for how much energy she will generate via her basic attack or skill at various energy regen rates. Anyway, as we can see, Robin really enjoys being with fast characters that can attack multiple times. As such, she's a perfect fit with follow-up attack teams, although she is still a solid choice for other attack scaling characters as well. And up next, we have her stats. Attack percent body is definitely the way to go. As for her boots, generally I recommend attack boots for most players. However, it is recommended to get 121 speed to outspeed 160 supports and enemies, as well as to activate the Fleet of the Ageless's buff. Sometimes you'll need a bit more speed if your teammates are faster to outspeed them, but you don't always need to outspeed your supports either. There are some niche high-speed builds for sweaties like myself who enjoy zero-cycle clears, like 170 speed plus builds with the Von Whack. Again, this is not recommended for most players, but I figure I'd include it here. And for more information on this sweaty speed build, do check out my earlier showcase video. As for the sphere, I generally recommend an attack percent sphere, as that boosts her own damage and provides a larger buff to her team. However, a physical sphere is good if you want to maximize her personal damage. As for the rope, there's almost no question about it. She should use an energy regen rope, as having her ultimate in one less turn is crucial for her success. Now, Robin's energy is a massive moving target, but generally speaking, she'll have low 0 to 2 turn downtimes on her ultimate with the Rat team, since this team can hit the enemy anywhere between 10 to 30 times per Robin ultimate, whereas other teams might hit the enemy as little as 5 times in the same number of cycles as the Rat team, which could lead to 2 to even a catastrophic 4 turns of downtime. For substats, attack percent, speed until 121 speed or so, flat attack, and survivability stats like HP percent and defense percent aren't useless either. As for her 4-piece relics, overall I recommend mixing and matching 2-piece musketeers, 2-piece pioneers, and 2-piece messengers to get as much attack percent as possible while also hitting 121 speed. As such, the 4-piece musketeers is good too, because, well, it provides attack and speed. Now, if you really want to maximize her damage, then the 4-piece champions is usable, but Concerto coordinated attacks don't build stacks on this thing, so you need to rely on getting hit to build stacks on it. So overall, I personally prefer the previous options. As for 2-piece relics, Fleet of the Ageless is overall the best option, hence why the 120 speed breakpoint from earlier is even more recommended. Space Sealing Station is a usable alternative, but provides smaller buffs to her team than Fleet of the the Ageless. Von Wax advanced forward with 170 plus speed builds can lead to some interesting and useful zero cycle setups, and the energy regen can occasionally lead to 1 turn faster ultimates. Penacony's energy regen can occasionally also do the same as the Von Wax to get her ultimate a bit sooner, while also buffing Argenti's and Clara's damage should you choose to use her with them. Lastly, there's the Broken Keel, but do keep in mind that you will have to build some effect resistance on her. As for her light cone options, obviously her best option is her signature light cone, Flowing Night Glow. Because she enjoys being played with teammates that attack frequently, she'll stack this thing really quickly and thus have a lot of additional energy regen. When she uses her ultimate, it does clear out the energy regen buff, but she will also then provide her entire team 24% bonus damage as well. The downtime on the energy regen actually is pretty low considering how fast and frequently her teammates tend to attack. Fortunately, the event light cone for Tomorrow's Journey is a great free-to-play option and will be available in version 2.2's main event. Keep in mind that occasionally she'll have her ultimate about 1 turn later than with her signature light cone, and she doesn't provide the additional 24% bonus damage during her ultimate. But surprisingly, this thing's damage is actually fairly close to her signature light cone's damage. After this, Bronya's light cone is overall her 3rd best option thanks to the 10% energy regen. And if you missed the event and don't have Bronya's light cone and didn't pull for a signature light cone, well, your options are now pretty limited. Personally, I think Cogs is the next best option because every time she's hit while in Concerto state, she'll gain 8 energy, which can situationally help her get her ultimate much sooner. And up next we have her Eidolons and pull priority. Overall, I recommend her signature light cone for better ultimate uptime with a good team-wide damage buff. However, her Eidolon 1 does generally increase her team's damage by a bit more while Concerto is active. But if Concerto isn't active because you don't have enough energy, because you don't have her signature light cone, then yeah, that's why I recommend her signature light cone. And if you're putting the money into Harmony, then at Eidolon 6, she'll do around 2.4 times the amount of damage in comparison to her Eidolon 0 counterpart. As for team building, her best team is the Rat team, which again consists of Ratio, Robin, Topaz, and Aventurine. It's an expensive team consisting of 3 limited 5-star characters, but it is a very powerful team. Pigs, chalks, and coins will fall from the heavens to obliterate all your opponents. A more free-to-play friendly team consisting of Dr. Ratio, 1 debuffer like Pella or even Gwen Finn, and a sustained character like Lynx, or even worth mentioning is March 7th since she will do additional follow-up attacks to generate more energy, is a solid core as well. Finally, Robin is a good choice for dot teams, being able to speed up multiple dot DPS characters and providing them a ton of attack and bonus damage. It's worth mentioning that Huohuo also has good synergy with Robin, since Huohuo will generate 32 energy for Robin's massive 160 energy ultimate. Finally, Robin can be used as a general Harmony support, supporting pretty much any other DPS character out there. Just keep in mind her shortcomings as a general support character. One last tip is to put Robin in the center of a team and next to preservation characters if you have one. This way Robin is more likely to take damage and therefore potentially get her ultimate sooner. As we can see, Robin is a very powerful Harmony support character that is particularly great with Dr. Ratio, Topaz, and Aventurine. In this team, I give her a 10 out of 10 rating. Now, as a general Harmony character, she's still an incredible option, although she does have her pitfalls. For example, she very rarely uses her basic attack, so she's not a skill point positive character. As such, supporting skill point gluttons like Dan Hung and Baiba Lune becomes quite dicey for Robin. And for other teams like dot teams, I don't consider her to be a significant upgrade over Ron Mei. So as a general Harmony support character that's not being used in the Rat team, I personally give her an 8 out of 10 rating. Anyway, let me know if I missed anything about Robin down in the comments below. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. This is I Went to Lose, signing out.